So taking the Tylenol does help. I stayed home today. I went to go pick up a pay from one of my clients, and I also went to go pay my property taxes. So with the Tylenol, it actually helped. But then when I came home, I decided not to take a Tylenol, and I'm feeling the effects of it. I'm still feeling better, but the Tylenol definitely helps a lot. So I'm going to be stuck on a Tylenol for at least another week. So that's what I'm going to do. So I went to town. While I was paying my property taxes, my client came to pay me. Fuck, man. I don't remember when it's due, but for my house tax, they charged me $2 interest or some fucking thing like that. It's only $300. And for my land tax, I only needed to pay $27, and they still charged me like 20 something cents interest on that. You know, these guys are motherfuckers. It pisses me off. Honestly, just because of that alone, I feel like moving from this fucking country. Bunch of fucking white trash paying you motherfuckers these taxes only to discriminate and alienate me. It's insult to injury, and I don't appreciate it. Maybe that's what I just might do. So, that pissed me off. You know, I paid those taxes to live here in peace, and all I'm bombarded with is discrimination and racism. It's no better than the owner of Point Rochers there. His own fucking employees are discriminating against his wife, you know, and him, and giving them trouble. You know, it's not professional. I think I'm going to have a talk with them, because I don't appreciate it at all. I didn't take it from that dumb bitch at the IGA, and I'm certainly not going to take it from them. You know? So, anyway, I went ahead and I put on the new seat. I'm telling you, it's a big difference. It's funny too, though. When this seat is warm, the gel on it is mushy as hell, you know? Much softer. Right now it's pretty soft. Right? And this one's memory foam. It's a lot firmer. But the springs on it, wow, make a big difference. It's really, really more comfortable. I like it. All I need to do is take it back apart and put washers here, because it's too wide. Yeah. Oh, maybe it's okay. See how loose it is? And I don't need to put the zip tie, because I gotta do something about this. Anyway, I don't gotta put the zip tie, because over here, I don't know if you can see it. You see how that's the frame for the suspension on the seat. So that hits up against the frame, and I can't go lower than that. And I'm telling you, man, I keep my ass planted on the seat, and I don't feel any of the road bumps at all. It's a much nicer seat. It's really nice. Really, really nice. I don't regret buying it. So, and I was coming home, and when I put this tire on, the nubs there, they rub against the frame at a certain point, and I'm coming home, and all of a sudden the motor starts. It feels like there's a spot where it jams, you know. I'm thinking, oh fuck, something wrong with the back wheel, and it didn't occur to me. And then I pressed to check out my distance, or my trip meter, and I looked down, out of gas. I only did 204 kilometers, but I think it's because this was not recording my speed properly. I put the bag here, and I think the bag pushed it down and twisted it, so it wasn't making contact. So I gotta be careful about that. But it's working good now. I haven't seen it jump around. So yeah, so I filled it up and off I went again. Only thing that bothers me is that right now it's really nice warm temperature, and this thing is jetted for like maybe springtime. So it's probably running a little rich right now. That bothers me. It doesn't have the oomph that it would have, say, if it was I'll lean it out a bit here. Say if it was like the winter time, not the winter time, but like springtime, you know. So anyway, I went to go check out the bike store at Place Saint Pierre today, just to see how it is, because had I known that they didn't close down, I would have ordered my tire, the new tire for this bike from there, but I didn't know. I thought they would close down or something, so I automatically just went straight to Nipisiguit Sports. So next time I need a new tire or something, I'm gonna go there and ask them, and if I could order it there and the prices are fair, then yeah, for sure I'll give them the sale. It's convenient, you know. So I put that on it when I went over there. I was going to put it on before I left today, but I took it with me. I wasn't even going to take it with me, you know. But then I said, you know, when you get into town, sometimes you get a little bit more motivated to do things. And it's just a nut and a bolt. So I took it with me to town. And when I stopped somewhere, I said to myself, yeah, I'll put it on. It didn't take me long to put it on. And it went on easy. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I didn't go Point Rushers. I was going to go, but I said, forget it. I ended up seeing Albert and stopping and talking to him and the owner of Point Rushers at the same time. So it was a nice day. You know, I got some things accomplished today. And I went to IGA, bought some smoked salmon, some sushi, a piece of meat, some English muffins, iced tea. Yeah. And then I came home. So I was hoping that I would come home, take like a little nap, wake up, come back downstairs, and work on my mower. I got to empty the oil, and I want to check the valves, and I want to also check the new cylinder head gasket, and I got to change the oil in my Honda there. It's 6 hours overdue. That's what I was hoping to get accomplished today, but as you can see, I got nothing accomplished today. I like having that table. It's nice. Oh, so it was a nice day though. If you stay in one spot too long, you get hot. On my bike, I had to wear my sweater. It wasn't that warm. So, oh, and I went to town too, because I wanted to get an Amazon card. I ordered the brand new armature for the Makita hammer drill that I got there from Rami. $35. I mean, you can't go wrong. I'm not going to try to fix it. You know, I think I'm just going to stick to certain tools that are easy to fix and are worth fixing, like the Makita 9005B grinder. That's worth fixing and selling. It's a tough little grinder, you know. But the armature on the Makita drill there, the fan is glued on to it, and that's what's kind of hindering me from working on it. So I decided to just buy the new armature. You know, I'll get a high quality drill that I feel is poorly designed, and I'll be able to run it to do some small masonry jobs, you know, drilling some holes in concrete and whatever. So I hate the way Makita designed that drill. I hate it. That armature does not have enough air circulation around it to keep it cool. It's a very stupid design. I can't believe Makita designed something so stupid. Oh, that man. So anyway, and I need a workshop. I have to build a press to press out the armature shaft so that I can isolate the coils, the whole iron with the coils, so that I could set it on fire to burn off the polyester resin on it, so that I can extract the wires and make sure everything's clean before putting in the new ones, so that they seat deep in there and seat properly, and that when I pour new polyester resin in, I mean epoxy resin in there, that it will bond better. So that's the other reason why I don't try to fix it. I need a shop for that, you know. There's no two ways about it. In the health that I'm in right now, for me to pull off a feat like that, I have to be healthy. You know, I can do it as is, but I don't have the concentration, steady hands, and the dexterity and initiative to do it. It is doable, but like I said, I don't have those things. It's better to press it. So we'll see. We'll see how life goes and if I can do it or not. So I don't know when that's going to come. Maybe July 10th or something. I don't know. Oh, and the filters for my lawnmower came, sitting in my mailbox. I'll go check another day for it. Yeah. The bike's a lot nicer now after changing the tire. So I could take my hands off the steering wheel and it doesn't wobble. I really want to get the new trailer though, because after I skid on the dirt, you know, I really want to get the trailer brakes so that something like that won't happen again. You know, I can mash the trailer brakes and brake with my trailer instead of the front wheel on my bike there. You know, it'd be much safer, much more controlled. Anyway, look at my tomato go. The reason why it's not growing right now is because it's establishing the roots. I noticed that when you plant a seed into like highly rich, fertile soil, like pure compost, it spends more time establishing roots than putting on growth than if you were to put seeds in like potting soil. They immediately try to put out their primary leaves, and they're not too keen on establishing roots, you know. That's what I noticed. So I'm pretty sure that for the amount of leaves that it has above, it probably has like maybe 5 times that in the bucket, maybe more, you know. Anyway, so, and I also wanted to spread that stuff there. Well, like I said, I don't feel good on my back, man. I want that to go away. Oh. I wish I could just get on my sailboat and go sailing, you know, but that asshole Eric Landry, I'm pretty sure he cut the bow line on my boat, you know, and I just don't have the use of it anymore. It's not safely stowed on my land, and you know, that's what life is like here in Canada. You're alienated and discriminated against, you know. One thing I've learned is that, you know, it's probably too late, but you know how when I was a kid we went fishing, and one time there was this pack of coyotes out in the woods, and you could see their eyes glowing at night looking at you, you know. Now we were in a van, so we could only see the eyes glowing, you know. We didn't feel threatened by it, you know. But that's exactly what these people are. They're like a pack of coyotes or wolves, or, you know, hungry. Actually, they're not like these animals. These animals have purpose. They don't kill for fun, as opposed to, say, a stray dog or something, you know. It's an ignorant creature and an abomination created by mankind through you know, playing with other breeds and whatever, and mixing them together to get this abomination, you know. And it's like those hungry eyes glowing in the night, looking at you, looking for an opportunity, looking at you like you're something to eat, you know, or a threat, instead of a human being. And when I look at them with my eyes, I see a human being. I don't see what they really are, you know, that they are They don't see me as an equal. They see me as a threat, or they see me as something to take advantage of. And that's what all these people are out here. This is what Canada is. And the icing on the cake, or the insult to injury, is that they are recognized by the Canadian government and have the power to call the police and all these services, right? And they call these things without abandon. You know, like for me to call the police, I have to know that I'm not wasting their time. It has to be a serious issue, okay? As opposed to, say, the incident with Edna Turlio there, she called the police on me just to harass me, and she wasted the police's time, you know? And just like Eric Landry there, and his dumb bitch that he fucks. I don't know if they're still together, Natasha Gionette, you know? They call the police just because they think the police is a tool for them to use. They don't respect them, you know? And I respect the police. Well, I did. How can you give such incompetent individuals, or these people are infidels, how can you give them this sort of power? You know, they don't respect the very police they're calling, okay? As opposed to me, I respect them. I have no choice, you know, and at the same time, I really don't care. They exist and they're there, and I'm not going to fight with them. There is no point. But these people will fight them, you know? They will never speak the truth to them, and they will never, you know, say what it is, you know? Because up until this very point, you know, I'm still the victim here. I'm still the bad guy. And they're the ones that came begging me for money. And my mistake was helping them. And if I saw them to be white trash back then, and saw them to be filth and scum, and, you know, I would have saved myself from all this headache instead of treating them like fellow citizens. Just like the police treats them as fellow citizens when they call them, not knowing that they're being used as a tool instead of a service, you know, a tool to harass me. It's mind-boggling to think that such a motherfucker like Eric, up until this very day, you know, I see them driving here sometimes. They think that me stepping in the road is something I don't understand. I step in the road for many people just to flag them down, you know. I see some guys, I flag them down, they stop, we talk, you know, and then they go off, you know. And he's never put two and two together. I think that guy does so much drugs that he's mentally retarded, you know. And the other part is that they know what they're doing. They're deliberate in their actions. So this is very dangerous. This is the type of man that Canada tolerates and breeds. And the Canadian government and the police and justice system have the audacity to label me as a terrorist and put me under supervision, unknowingly and unlawfully. And yet they have this driving around out here, okay? If I was like that man, and Sergeant Ron De Silva stopped me at the Bathurst Via Rail train station, it wouldn't have gone well, you know? It wouldn't have gone well at all. In fact, I don't even think Ron De Silva would have even come and approached me, because that guy's white, you know? And I'm not white. So I don't even know if that situation would have even occurred, right? And had it occurred, like I said, just based on the character and disposition of these people, it would not have gone well. However, because I respected police at that point in time, I did not question Sergeant Ron De Silva's authority, you know, because I know for a fact that I'm innocent. I have nothing to hide, you know. And I don't respect the police anymore. You know, that sack of shit should apologize to me and reimburse me for the humiliation of stopping me at the Via Rail train station under false pretenses, you know? Because now, ever since that incident, I have this, I've turned into, I don't know if you guys watch King of the Hill. I watched it as a kid, so if anybody watches King of the Hill, and I'll give an example, a description, but I've essentially, well, not completely, but you know, taken the path of Dale Gribble. You know, start suspecting things and start questioning everything and start wondering. You know, because Dale Gribble is a fanatic for that. You know, the thing is, Dale Gribble is naturally dumb like that. As for me, you know, this situation that transpired at the VRL train station insinuates it's all this now, you know, and I don't appreciate it. And I told the police when Edna called them, I told them when they came here, I said, you know, this is what you guys are doing to me, and you're telling me that's justice, you know. And then on top of that, today I went to go pay my property taxes, and I mean, you guys are immediately charging me interest on it, you know. And Justin Trudeau goes and gives Zelensky all this money, and he goes and he does this, and he goes and he does that, and he's not being held accountable for it. But you know, I'm too busy working, and I forgot to pay it, and you guys are charging me interest automatically. And then you have the audacity to call me a terrorist. You know, I honest to God wish that Osama bin Laden declared war on the West, North and South America, North America in its entirety, Canada and America, the United States, and go for the head, you know, attack Parliament, attack the White House and the Pentagon, you know, because you guys just don't care about my rights. You don't care about nothing. You guys make up laws and regulations just so you can shirk them or skirt them, you know. You make them up and you don't follow them, you know. I don't care. Let chaos happen. I don't care no more, you know. You guys want to call me a terrorist? Do you know when you pester somebody to the point of breaking that you guys forget that they're just human beings, you know, and they can become petty, or they can start embodying that which you insinuate upon them, you know. You guys don't think about that, you know. But then I'm not surprised because, like, look at Michel Hebert. He attempted to commit suicide on 2 occasions, and on both occasions he was found and apprehended by the police. And on the second occasion he was taken to the hospital in Campbellton. Okay, why is he not alive right now? Okay, the hospital in Campbellton let him go. Okay, they know he attempted suicide twice and they let him go, and his friend found him somewhere in the woods hanging from a tree. He's dead now. I mean, if that does not scream incompetence, I do not know what does. Okay? Pure incompetence. Just pure incompetence. You know? Those 2 cops came here to question me about that stupid bitch Edna. One of them there standing there like a fucking cowboy, and the other guy here standing right in front of me. I realize it's a stance to react to whatever I might do, and it's quite insulting to me because I respect the police and I would not do nothing to jeopardize their safety. So the next time I see the police and I have to confront with them, I'm going to tell them that you guys are treading a very thin line, and that when you push me over the edge, be prepared to shoot to kill, because I will stop treating you like fellow citizens and I will turn all my attention towards you in an aggressive manner to defend my rights. right? And you had better be able to defend your life as I see that you are affecting mine, you know? Because you need to defend my rights with your life. Because guess what? If you don't, I have to. You know? Just like with my property and my work, that is my life. Without it, I'm nothing. And in order to keep it, I must defend it with my life. It's a very simple concept, you know? The whole American charter, I suppose, stands on that. They defend with their life, you know? And if you don't have the intention to defend my life and my rights with your life, then I don't know why you're a cop, you know? Unless you just want to suck on it like welfare. You know, you wear a badge and you go collect a check, you know? Then I don't understand. I mean, well, that would make complete sense, you know? Then you're no better than all the people out here, you know? A bunch of fucking lazy cunts. Bunch of fucking leeches. So, anyway, I hope maybe tomorrow I can do some stuff out here. I have enough food to carry me tomorrow, so I'm not gonna go to town. I have to go to town on Friday because I gotta go cut grass. So I might sharpen my blade. And if I take off the cowling, I'm gonna try to fix this button here. I don't know why it's broken. I hate that it's on all the time. 111 hours is good enough. I hope that there's not a lot of metal debris in the oil. I'll pull the cylinder head to see if there are any scratches in the cylinder. Hopefully there are none. Right? My bike here is saying 160 hours on it. So I'll change the oil and then I'll run it until 200. And then after that I'll change the oil every 100 hours. I think when I started this bike this year, it was at 100 hours or something like that. So, and I've already put 60 hours. So, I mean, every time I fill the tank is about 7 hours. Right? And I fill the tank at least 4 times. So 4 times 7 is 49 hours, I think. No, is it? 4 times 7? No, that's 29 hours. So I filled the tank a little bit more times than that, I think. Anyway, I'll see how many hours. I don't remember. I gotta check my notes. I spent some money this month, man. Next month, hopefully I won't spend any money. And this is June, July, yeah. So if I make some money next month, maybe in August or September, maybe September, I want to start excavating the clay from here and buying materials because there's something I want to build. So these peppers are doing fine. I planted one over there, it's growing still. I planted 2 over there. The slugs ate 1. And in the backyard I planted 3 and the slugs ate 2. So instead of getting pepper plants, I think I should just get some ducks. I think ducks would be the best thing to get. See, I had one right there and the slugs ate it. This one's still alive. I don't know what's wrong with it now. So I wanted to clean up here. And then I want to go get some people have some wood for me there. Yeah. I think I'll build it here somewhere away from the streets. If I could block myself from the street and establish something here, maybe Maybe. Look at that. Holy fuck, it already has grapes developing on it. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's see if I can get it to climb. Huh, and that carragana is actually growing. That's good. Even from the top. Huh. That's very good. I'm gonna have to empty those buckets. I still don't know what I'm gonna do with these tomatoes. I'm thinking to plant them in the back there, in my compost pile there. I'm thinking to do that. Anyway, this back pain is really keeping me down. At least I got a comfortable seat to sit on. Very nice and comfortable. Very nice. I like having those tires. If I was like on the dirt road, but you'd need double suspension for that. Hardtail like this with the hard rigid fork is stupidity. You know, every fucking bump and whatever go right into the frame. Put on the light here. I see I brought it downstairs. I have all these fucking things. See, I brought the epoxy downstairs. I was going to fix it. Yeah. I'm going to use it as my test bench if I set up my shop. So I'm just going to work, save up my money, and try to move away from this house. You know, working on Liz's cottage there did give me a little bit of inspiration to save this house, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. You know, I need to spend at least $2,000 just to put support underneath it, just to lift it off the foundation. And then you look at the house itself. I mean, you don't know where the water is going and what's rotten, so there's no point in opening up a bag of worms. So tomorrow I'm going to try to is he still there? The moth was there this morning. The apocalypse moth. I don't know where he is now. Hope he's not dead. So tomorrow what I'm going to do, I'm going to empty that. Okay, I'm going to work on my 2 motors. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And get my mower sharpened again. And I'm going to change the oil, lap the valves, check the cylinder, put the new gasket. Well, see if the new gasket will work and then put it. And yeah, that's what I'll do tomorrow. Plant my tomato and carragana. Got some more compost I gotta empty. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I should bring in some more firewood. Still not warm these nights. You know, I gotta clean up in here too. I'm afraid to put firewood in here. Very afraid, because that's a lot of weight, man. That's like what? 3-4 tons of wood I could stack in here. You imagine all that sitting on just the foundation that's eroding. It's oh, that's not safe anymore. And I'll make another video. Well, if anybody's keen on listening to what I have to say, you know, because to help you learn, you take the principles of one thing and you apply it to a thing that you understand completely. And like in electronics, you have to understand that there are circuits and microcircuits and integrated circuits, and yeah, integrated circuits, not microcircuits. And these components, capacitors, resistors, diodes, transistors, triacs and stuff like that, capacitors, fuses, you know. And You have to understand they're all going to ground, you know, and if they're short to ground, you know, there's a component that failed in that area. And right now, because that there is ground, once you touch that, there's no weak spot. There's no weak spot. There'll be zero. I don't know how to put it. Zero. That let's just put it at zero. Here, it's supported by a foundation that's failing. So let's say that foundation is like a, I don't know, a capacitor, I guess. Let's say. So that foundation is taking the potential energy of the weight in the house and transferring it onto a narrow strip all the way around. Okay, and now it's failed. So like in an electronic circuit, you're trying to find a short to ground. But because the foundation has failed, it's like finding an open circuit. You understand? And I can prove that to you. Because when you try to put a load onto the house, into the room there, such as firewood, you will find that the house will start to sag and buckle. And as you can see down there, do you see any bricks? That's because it's an open circuit. Let's say it's a capacitor, I don't know. It failed. It's failed, it's not doing its job, it's an open circuit. So now if I were to bring a load into here now, it's going to create a force, and this force is trying desperately to find ground, and there's no foundation, there's no capacitor, you can say that. And by thinking this way, it helps me understand how electronics works in a circuit, because that's essentially what it is. You have a load. The load is the coulombs, the amperage, the actual electrons that move. They've been ousted, okay, and they've become free, and they've been charged with potential energy, you know, and this energy can be measured in volts in terms of how fast they move, and in volume in terms of how many amperage, okay, and they're passing through this wire, and we use these to manipulate them to give us small luxuries in life, or, you know, things like that, you know. So now these electrons naturally, like the load I would place in here, wants to find ground. But before it finds ground, I have it do some things. I have it pass through a capacitor, I have it pass through a resistor, you know, and a thyristor, and a variable capacitor, a trim capacitor, okay, and then the final resistor. So now the thyristor is a switch, you know, and the capacitor is just to smoothen out the electrical flow. So now the resistor that I'm using here manually, that's not a trim, is limiting how much of those coulombs can flow through the wire to go to the switch, to activate the switch, right? Because you have two paths here. One, the electricity is going this way to one end of the switch, which is the thyristor. You have another one going to the other path of the switch, which will be the actual switch itself, okay? And then you have the other lead going to the load, okay? And what happens is when you adjust this resistor, if you adjust this resistor with zero resistance, then what's going to happen is the current is going to flow and keep that thyristor completely closed circuit. So it's always going to be supplying power to whatever the load is. But now, as you apply resistance now, this electricity slowly trickles into the thyristor, okay? And until it gets to the certain trigger point to trigger the closing of the thyristor in order to facilitate the closing of the circuit to apply power to the load. You understand? This is how I'm thinking, you know? So you're resisting, you're putting something in between this and the ground, and by doing that you're forcing it to work for you to perform a task, right? And you can also ask it itself to control that task, you know, if you're smart enough. And that's what it is, you know. It's almost the same thing if you really think about it. But you really have to think about it, and you really have to be interested to try to think about it, to understand it, you know. Because if I go into electronics and start fixing these things, I have to see it in such a way that I can visualize it. You know, I just can't open up something and say, oh, it's your capacitor or it's this chip here. I have to see the board for what it is, and I have to see, you know, here's the in, here's the function, and this is where it goes. This does this, this does this, this does this, you know. It's like on a circuit board, you know, you have something, when it reaches a certain level, it'll close this. And then when that's closed, then, well, it's closed, you know. But then you're going to have that in an IC, an integrated circuit, and you're going to have like a million of these things doing the same fucking thing, right? And that's what an IC is. So, I mean, it will get extremely complicated if you don't try to simplify it, to try to understand it. And that's what matters, you know, because like that Marishift the guy had here, you know, the component he had in it cost $900, and if I could have fixed that, it might have only cost me, let's say in materials, parts, might have cost me $100 in parts, plus let's say $50 in labor, okay? And I could have probably turned around and tell him, okay, I'll fix it for you for, let's say, $350, right? And he will gladly pay me the $350 because he doesn't have to go and spend $900 to fix it. And the thing is, it's not a consumer product, it's a commercial product. It's not made to fail and to just be replaced. It's made to work and to last, and quite possibly be repairable. You know, there's money in that. And I saw that. You know, and it is piquing my interest. I don't know if I'll fully go into it, but the prospect of having a guaranteed return for my efforts is quite intriguing, and you know, it would be quite fun to actually tap into this source of money, you know. But like I said, you know, trying to explain placing a load here, and that load wants to find ground, and you have to figure out, you know, there's some posts, there's the beam there are the joists holding it together, the floor preventing the actual load from passing in between, you know, and the foundation has loss, so there's an open circuit there, you know, and I put a temporary support beam here. It's doing the job for now, but it's not the permanent solution, you know, sort of deal, you know. That's how I'm applying this to figure out that. You know, that's how I was also able to learn French too, you know. I have to master my language in order to learn another language, sort of deal. So, it does help a lot, because now you have a control, and with this control, you can peer into the unknown, right? And you can apply theories and practical, and you can put it in there. And when you receive it back, you can examine it and you can build on it. You can learn from it. You can identify things, you know, and build and learn and accomplish something, you know, instead of just doing things willy-nilly and hoping for the best, you know. It's not very calculated. Sure, maybe it might work, but it really is just, you know, you're just going into the woods trying to hunt a moose, and you don't have night vision goggles, and you just start shooting everywhere. Sure, you might hit a moose. You might hit a neighbor, you might hit another hunter, you might hit a partridge, you might hit a tree, you might trip and you might shoot yourself, you know? Yeah, you like that? Go ahead and do it. I'm not gonna do it. So, that's a long video, huh? 40 minutes? If any of you watch this video, I don't know fucking what kind of life you guys have, man.